Woo! Hey guys, welcome back. This is History of Digimon Digital Monsters Season 2, Episode 20 of my show. But this is about Episode 19 of Season 1. Episode 20 of my show. This is History of Digimon Season 2, Episode 20 of my show. But this is about Episode 19 of Season 2. Before I start talking about it, I want to apologize. Last two times, I almost finished this video one time, but then the battery died, so we had to plug it in. The laptop battery died, so we had to plug it in, and the last time it kind of clunked out a bit, so hopefully this time it doesn't clunk out. Anyway, continue, but once again, I just want to apologize about that. Anyway, continuing on. This is History of Digimon Digital Monsters Season 2, Episode 20 of my show, but this is about Episode 19. Now, this is the second episode. Now, Episode 19 in the English dub is known as An Old Enemy Returning. Now, that's kind of appropriate. And basically what happens is, first, Garamon is wondering if Davis always snores like the way he does, and then Devimon says every night, and then she's wondering how Devimon sleeps, and he says he doesn't. And then basically what happens is they notice, you see, this episode is significant for Davis's character in the fact that all the other Digimon that can get to Ken's base, like Samarimon, except for Devimon, because he can't fly, he can't fly basically, so he can't get to the location and stuff, so Davis is kind of left behind. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Anyway, continuing on, Sabarimon is saying that he still thinks they should have told the others where they were going before they left, and then TK says that they'll be fine. He didn't want to leave Kari alone anymore, and basically what happens is then. Oh, before I continue, last weekend I went to a couple of weekends ago. You guys, when I had my 2-year anniversary with my YouTube channel, I stated that I went to go see that Avengers Age of Ultron, and as I think I stated in the previous video, I highly recommend going to see it. I just thought I'd get that out of the way again, since I just thought I'd get that out of the way again and stuff. Oh, and also, I guess I should mention this. Not this month, but last month, I kind of went to a Nickelback concert, and as I stated in one of my videos previously, I enjoyed the concert really. I was a little nervous at first, because it was my first concert since high school. But I'll quit talking about my personal life and I'll get back into the episode. And then later on, as I was stating, they basically, as I said before, all the Digimon characters except for Devimon, they go to Ken's base because Devimon can't fly yet. He can fly, but that's not until later. Because he can only armor Digivolve for right now, and none of his armor forms allow him to have wings and stuff, which kind of stinks. But anyway, continuing on, then and then Cody, when he's in Submarimon, notices an underground entrance to Ken's base, and then they enter the base and stuff, and they plan to destroy it. And then Ken, when he's in his base, starts finishing up working on his creation, and then sees this thing that looks like a whirlpool, and then he thinks it's created by an evil Digimon, which he's correct about that. It is created from an evil Digimon creature, but it's one from the past. Anyway, continuing on, and then Cody and Armadillomon starts. Then Cody starts to free some of the prisoners, and then he notices the dark pool, and then basically Armadillomon starts shivering, and Cody says that his thoughts precisely and stuff, and then, well, basically what happened beforehand was Wormmon was warning Ken not to go into the dark pool, because he could sense that it was dangerous and evil and stuff. I think he could sense Devimon's presence in there. I'm not quite sure about that. Anyway, and then when TK notices the dark pool, he sees Devimon, and then later on, Ken goes to use the Mechanoramon he's piloting to take what's left of Devimon in order to finish his creation, and then Devimon starts talking inside his head, basically, which is kind of weird that he's talking inside his head. Oh my god, that's weird in my personal opinion. Anyway, it's weird. And then he goes back and then it goes to where TK is, and he's thinking of all the Digimon out there. Why did it have to be Devimon? And this kind of is reminiscent of season 1, episode 14 of my own show, but about episode 13 when I did the season 1 set of videos. TK's remembering their final battle against Devimon, and he's thinking to himself that it was their last chance to destroy Devimon one-on-one, and Angemon knew what he had to do. The only way for him to fully destroy Devimon's evil powers on Fire Island was for him to sacrifice himself. And then he's thinking to himself that he begged Angemon not to do it, but they both knew that there was no other choice. And he thinks to himself that he always thought it was his fault, like maybe he could have done something, but he was too young to handle it, too young to understand. And then he says that was then, and this is not. So he throws his hat on the ground, and while TK's, then he tells Cody that, well, actually beforehand, after Ken retrieved the digital data from Devimon to finish his creation, which I'll put in the description, and then basically what happens is, he's saying that, how could that person not know who he is? He told everybody, and then he looks on his screen and he notices that the Digidestin are in his days, and he said he has better things to do than to deal with them. And then Wormmon is basically saying, that he sure has changed. He used to love destroying the Digidestin. Other than it was his favorite thing to do, and now he kind of makes like a Christmas Carol, Christmas kind of reference, because he's like, that's to putting coal in children's Christmas stockings, and then Ken goes like, ah, humbug. Oh my god, that's funny. And then basically what happens is, after that, and TK goes off, and then Patamon is following him. Oh, and I guess I can explain to you what, and then and then Ken shows up where TK is, and then he said that he didn't remember bringing him an invitation. He must admit that TK's got a lot of nerve, speaking into the face of the most powerful being in the digital world, and then TK does this look on his face, and then he starts laughing, and then Ken's like, what's so funny? And then TK says that he asks Ken that doesn't he think it's about time that he gives up this little charade? It's getting really, really old. He says that he's the most powerful being, which I gotta admit, in my personal opinion, I kind of agree with TK's character in this case, because in my personal opinion, when I first watched the episode on TV and when I watched it on Netflix myself, that whole act of his was getting really old to me as well. I just thought I'd get a personal reference with the show out of the way again. I just thought I'd get a personal reference out of the way with the show again. I did that a couple of times when I did the first season set of videos. I made some personal references to my connections with the series and so on and so forth and stuff. So I just thought I'd get that out of the way again. And he says, anyway, getting back into it, TK says that, like I said, TK says that what Ken's doing, he's getting really old. He says that he's the most powerful being in the digital world, and then, and though he has no comprehension of the powers that exist there. Actually, he unveils Kimeramon beforehand, and now I can probably explain to you what his special attack is called. His special attack in this series is known as Heat Viper, which is basically an attack that he shoots out of his mouth. And basically what Kimeramon looks like is basically a giant Digimon made up of mixed up parts of other Digimon and stuff. Kind of like a jigsaw puzzle kind of thing. Anyway, continuing on, and getting back into it. TK says that doesn't Ken think it's about time he gave up this little charade because it's getting really old, and personally I gotta agree with him there. In my personal opinion, I feel like that was getting really old anyway too. Anyway, he says that TK says that Ken says that he's the most powerful being in the digital world, yet he has no comprehension of the powers that exist in the digital world. He's like he's a pretender. He's like that story, the Emperor's New Clothes and stuff. And then Ken starts getting a little mad. He says that he's nobody, he's not like him. They'll bow down before him. And then TK kind of makes a snarky remark saying that he's apologizing again, but the floor's kind of dirty, so he'll pass. And he says that he will listen to him. That Ken says that TK will listen to him, and then he whips him on the face. Now, before I continue, I'm just going to make a Japanese dub reference. In his scene that I'm talking about in the Japanese dub, Ken's character keeps saying the word maggot, 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 maggot over and over again. I don't understand that. I just thought I'd make a quick reference to that since I saw I'm pretty sure there's a video of that on YouTube, like a comparison of both the English and Japanese dubs. So if you guys want, you can go on YouTube yourself and check it out. But I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube by now. It's probably been on YouTube for a couple years. Anyway, continuing on, as I said, Ken says that TK is nobody not like him. He will bow down before him. And then TK says that the floor is kind of dirty. And then Ken says that he will listen to him. And then he uses his whip on TK and he gets hurt. And then Patamon gets a little shocked face. And then TK is looking at his face and he's broadening the side of it, and he's like, whenever Ken can't think of what to say, he always resorts to fighting, and then Ken says yes, and he says, and TK says that that's Ken's problem. He doesn't know when to talk and when to fight, and TK says that now's the perfect time to talk, and then he also says that on the other hand, it's also a perfect time to fight, and they start fighting and stuff, and then Wormmon notices that Ken's getting hurt, so he tries to use his sticky net attack to attack TK, and then Patamon uses his boom bubble attack to stop him. And then basically, Patamon's wondering if Wormmon wants to fight, and he says he prefers a staring contest, and they start glaring at each other and like that. And then, while Ken and TK are fighting, Kimeramon shows up. And then TK's wondering what that is, and then Ken is saying that didn't he tell him he has a new pet, Kimeramon, his secret weapon that's not really a secret anymore. Don't worry if he didn't get a chance to see him up close and personal. We'll be seeing him real soon. And then TK and his Patamon armor digivolve to Pegasusmon, and they head out the entranceway that Kimeramon created when he uses his Heat Viper attack. And then basically, before TK leaves, he's saying that basically he's telling Ken to remind him where they left off next time he's pummeling him into oblivion. And then it goes to where they are on the island part of the digital world, and then Cody's giving TK his hat back, and he's saying he doesn't want anyone to step on it and stuff. He says that the times like it at home, and then Davis is getting kind of upset because he was ready to fight and all the action was over with, and the whole thing with that. And then Devimon is saying that the other Digimon can fly, so why can't he and stuff. And basically, Davis is saying, that he's got as much strength as he does. Demon's got as much strength as he does. That head of his is as sharp as a brick, and Demon is getting excited about that. And then Davis is saying that he's telling her to congratulate TK. Like he gets his name wrong again, and he says that really let Ken have it. And then he says that's TK, and that's basically. And then this is technically this is not the second last episode of the series where they fight Ken as the Digimon Emperor. It's technically the third last one because I probably will put that in the description, and I also will put in the description first episode 14 of season 1 of my own show, but about episode 14 of my own show, but about episode 13 of season 1 referenced, and I'll put first of 2 times referenced as well. And once again, guys, I want to apologize for the last 2 times when I tried to make this video, it clunked out. So I want to apologize for that. And like I always tell you, see you guys next time. And before I continue, one last thing. If you guys could just give this video a lot of support, I really would like that and stuff. And as I always tell you, see you guys next time and keep it digital.